This isn't a critique, think of it as a secret decoder. We're counting down the top 10 countries that are often perceived as the most stern or serious. That's right, these are the places where the reputation for no-nonsense attitudes runs high. Now, you might be asking, how do we determine which countries are the sternest? Well, we asked a large group of people. Last year, we surveyed over 4,800 travelers from around the world, asking them which countries they found most serious or reserved. From that list, we picked the top 10 and then ran a follow-up survey asking respondents to choose which among them was the most stern, sharing any stories they had. Here's how the results shook out. Ready? Let's go. 10. Japan. Let's start with Japan. Known for their meticulousness and respect for order, Japanese culture places a premium on politeness, punctuality, and harmony. If you're in a shop or restaurant, expect a quiet, respectful demeanor, no fuss, no fussiness. If you make a mistake or forget to bow properly, you might get a gentle correction, but always with respect. One traveler shared, "I accidentally stepped onto a crosswalk when it was still red, and a security guard politely but firmly pointed me to the other side, without a smile, just a serious look." Japan scored 68 votes, about 1.4% of the total. 9. Switzerland. Next, we have Switzerland. Precision, efficiency, and a no-nonsense attitude define Swiss interactions. They value punctuality and clarity. Small talk is minimal, and service tends to be straightforward. If you ask for a recommendation, you'll get a direct answer, sometimes even blunt. A visitor recounted, "I asked a Swiss waiter if I could get a different side, and he simply said, 'That's not how we do things here.' No explanation, just direct." Switzerland received 95 votes, roughly 2% of the poll. 8. Germany. Germany appears again, but this time for their strict adherence to rules. They believe in efficiency and clarity, small talk is almost non-existent, and time is valued above all. If you're in a queue, don't expect to be fussed over, you'll be corrected if you step out of line. One story, I asked for a custom order at a bakery, and the clerk simply pointed to the pre-made sandwiches and said, "Choose one." No fuss, just efficiency. Germany's stern reputation got 142 votes, about 3%. 7. South Korea. South Korea, known for their disciplined society, also ranks high. Respect for hierarchy and punctuality are key here. Service staff are often very direct, sometimes to the point of seeming abrupt. A traveler shared, "When I tried to ask a question at a restaurant, the server gave me a very straightforward answer, almost like they didn't have time for small talk." South Korea got 177 votes, or about 3.5%. 6. United Kingdom. The UK is famous for its dry humor and layered politeness. But beneath that veneer, there's a serious side. People might give a curt response, or use understatement to convey a message. One observer noted, "I accidentally cut in line at a bus stop, and a Brit simply looked at me and said, 'Oh, I say, that's a bit cheeky,' with a straight face." The UK scored 206 votes, roughly 4%. 5. Russia. Russia's reputation for stoicism is well earned. Publicly, they can seem reserved or even cold. But once you're inside a home or a close circle, warmth and generosity come through. A story from a visitor, "In Moscow, I needed help with my luggage, and a stranger simply nodded, then silently helped me without a word." No fuss, just decisive action. Russia received 245 votes, about 5%. 4. United States. Americans are diverse, but one thing's clear, service is often brisk and transactional. Politeness is here, but it's often straightforward and sometimes even brisk. Small talk varies by region, friendly in the South, direct in the Northeast. A tale, in New York, I asked a barista about their drink special, and they just said, "It's that one," with no extra words. Very efficient. The U.S. garnered 312 votes, roughly 6.5%. 3. France. And now, the country often associated with style and sophistication, but also, famously, sternness. French culture values formality, and in many situations, interactions are about procedure. A traveler shared, "In Paris, I tried to ask for directions without saying bonjour first, and the clerk just stared. Once I greeted properly, she smiled and helped." France scored the highest with 1,050 votes, almost 22% of all votes. Final thoughts on sternness. Before we reveal the top spot, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Virtual Travel. It really helps support this kind of content, and I appreciate all of you who tune in. Now, on to the most serious country. Number 1, Australia. And the top spot goes to Australia. Known for their directness and no-nonsense attitude, Aussies don't beat around the bush. They're straightforward, often blunt, and expect the same in return. One story from a visitor: "I asked for directions, and the guy just said, 'Yeah, it's that way,' with a shrug. No fuss, no extra words." Many travelers noted that while Australians are friendly, they're also quite stern when it comes to manners and respect for personal space. Australia received over 1,200 votes, about 25% of the total. Final words. That wraps up today's list. Remember, these rankings reflect perceptions, not necessarily reality, but they give fascinating insight into cultural differences. Thanks for tuning into Virtual Travel, where every journey is an exploration, even of the serious side of things. Stay curious, stay respectful, and see you on the next adventure.